Hello, everyone. It's Galen here, back with the journey ahead, thriving in your 60s. Today, I have Jessica here with FOX Rehab. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for having me. My name's Jessica Mannix. I am with FOX Rehabilitation. I am an account manager locally here in the Arizona market, and we've been in business for almost 30 years. And I'm happy to be with this practice and happy to be here today.
30 years? That's
Yeah.
awesome. How long you been with them?
Clearly, I haven't been with them the whole time. I've been with them for just about 2 years. So they made kind of their Western expansion. They're originally based out of New Jersey on the East
Oh, okay.
Coast, and operated there for about 26 years before expanding west. And then Arizona was their first state on the Western coast. And
Okay.
I've been with them for about 2 years.
Nice. And you obviously love it.
I,
I can feel the energy.
I do love it. It's a fantastic practice,
Okay.
fantastic clinicians, and I just love being part of the team.
Okay, cool. Well, let's talk about, mobility, Fox Rehab. Let's just dive in. Let's go.
Absolutely, let's do it. So as I'm sure you see, and a lot of people see, when people age, of course, we lose a little strength, we lose a little mobility.
Right.
Falls are the biggest concern a lot of people have as they get older.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of people have heard some terrible stories of people who have one big fall and then their life is never the same.
Yeah.
So a big part of what we do is a lot of proactive therapy. As a practice, we offer physical, occupational, and speech therapy.
All right.
All that work great together. Not to say everybody needs all three, but a big focus of our physical and occupational therapy, of course, is proactive care. So really
Right.
trying to reduce any of those big major functional events and mishaps
Right.
that can lead to hospitalizations or surgeries or anything like that.
Yeah, and a lot of the seniors I deal with too, sometimes it's that one phone call where, you know, there was a fall involved and it was scary. So
Right.
yeah, so definitely using your services is very important for that.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you've seen a number of times where everybody is fine living completely independently. They have that
Right.
one big fall. Then you might get a call from someone in the hospital saying, I'm in the hospital. They're saying I'm not safe enough to go back home by myself. And that's
Right.
when you have to make a big change that you maybe weren't anticipating.
Yeah, exactly. So, but you guys could still help even though if they did get put into an assisted living anyway, right?
Oh, absolutely. We work
Okay.
with people at all different stages of their journey, whether it's proactive, if they're living in an independent home by themselves.
Okay.
We work with people in communities, whether they're in group homes or larger senior living communities. And if they're totally independent, through people who
Right.
might be in a memory care community, we work with people of all different diagnoses and different parts of their journey.
Okay. All right. So then it sounds like you come to them rather than them coming to you, huh?
That's exactly what we do. So as people get older, of course, they sometimes have trouble getting around.
Right.
And with therapy, it's super important to be not only consistent, but do it at a high frequency. So we like to see people multiple times a week. For an older adult, sometimes to get out to an outpatient clinic
Right.
multiple times a week. It's a lot of time from their family or friends, whoever might be caregiving for them, or it's a lot of money out of their pocket if they're
Right.
paying for that additional transportation resource. So we kind of take that element out of it for them.
That's nice of you guys.
Absolutely. It is nice. And also, like, there is a huge benefit aside from the convenience of us going to their home. There's a huge
Hmm.
clinical benefit to being in their home because that's where we see the true environment that they spend most of their time in.
Right.
I don't know the specific stat, but I'm sure it's something above 80% of falls happen in a person's home.
Damn,
So
that's
we're
a stat right
yeah,
there.
it is, and don't quote me on that, but it's something like that.
Well, it's got to be high enough anyway.
It's high. So there's really no better place to work on functionality, mobility, and
Right.
day-to-day stuff than in the actual environment they do live in.
Hmm.
So when our therapists go into the home, whether it's physical, occupationist, or speech, they're always taking note of what's happening in the environment.
Okay.
And if there's any suggestions or concerns, they can absolutely voice that and make sure that that person is living in the safest environment possible and also just set up for their optimal function.
Yeah.
A lot of times people, as I'm sure you see, they live in the same home for 30, 40, 50, sometimes
Yeah.
longer.
And they don't want to leave.
And they don't want to leave, but sometimes they don't change things. And, as we age and our functionality changes, we need to be able to adapt our environment to that too. So
Exactly.
that's a big part of what we do whenever we work with someone. We're always taking the home into consideration.
Well, that is very good. It's full circle with you guys. That's what it seems like.
Thank you.
You know?
That's what we aim for.
Okay. And then like this is definitely going to benefit the caregivers as well, especially if they're already in, an assisted living or actually just a family in general, right?
Absolutely. So the goal is to always make the individual safer, no matter what other resources they have surrounding them.
Right.
And making a caregiver's job easier is super important for a lot of different reasons. We want to save them time, but we also want to give the patient and their caregiver the confidence to feel like they're moving safely throughout their day. Helping to strengthen someone's leg muscles and muscles they use to lift themselves out of the chair makes it easier for a caregiver to help, assist them from the bed to a chair or to a wheelchair or whatever they might be doing.
Right.
So it really just makes it a safer environment, a more educated environment for everybody involved.
Got it. Okay. How about any testimonials in the past couple years that you've maybe run into that could, stand out as, the Fox brand grows?
Yeah, absolutely. I actually just got a text earlier today from a daughter of a resident at one of the senior living communities that we live in. And it was a unique situation. It's a senior living community that's independent only.
Okay.
And her dad is kind of on that brink of maybe needing a higher level of care.
Okay.
And before they made that decision, they said, let's bring in some functional therapy and see if we can kind of return him to the state that he was at before.
Right.
And so that's exactly what we did. We brought in physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help address like all of his cognitive declines, along with functional declines. And after about 6 or 7 weeks of therapy, we were actually able to get him to a point where him and his daughter were comfortable staying in independent living without having to move to assisted.
That is definitely.
So she sent me a text saying basically like, thank you so much just for being available to help my dad. You've saved me a lot of headaches, a lot of money from not having to make that move. Sometimes that move isn't inevitable and she knows it might happen someday. But she was just eternally grateful for us being able to go in and help her in the current situation. That was so great to hear.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. And it wasn't me. It's our wonderful clinicians who do the care and really make the difference.
Well, that's good. That really shows that you guys have been really growing, and I love hearing those stories.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I always like to think like, just moving somebody into assisted living, that's like a last resort. So like it definitely makes me feel better that, definitely have you guys on the team.
Yeah, and it's not obviously there's a time and a place for assisted living, and a lot of assisted living communities do fantastic work caring for their residents.
Right.
But a lot of times, people really care about the life that they have, and if they want to stay independent. And it has a huge mental component to it as well.
Right.
So we always like to, give people the chance to prove their independence and really put in the work to see if we can keep them there.
Awesome. Well, then, like, how would somebody get started in this?
Yeah.
They just call Jessica.
So anybody is welcome to call me, whether you're a potential patient yourself, a caregiver, family member. All we need to get started with us, it's pretty simple. We are an outpatient therapy practice. So the same things you need to go to any outpatient clinic that you're used to driving by down the road. Same thing, we just need a referral from either the patient's primary care provider or any specialist that they work with regularly. Just stating the need, and then we do bill through insurance. We are covered under Medicare Part B as an outpatient practice. So if I have the patient's insurance information, I can go ahead and check to see what their coverage is. And then other than that, all we need to know is where you live so that we know where to find you for therapy, and know how to get a hold of you to schedule your appointments. And that's really it.
That's simple enough for me.
Simple enough, as simple as it gets.
Okay. Yeah, so pretty much closing up here, is there any last tips and tricks you want to give anybody as they're going through their thriving in their 60s, they want to keep going?
So our slogan as a practice is be stronger, live longer, better. I think it is just the perfect testament to strength and how important it is for us, not only in our day-to-day life, no matter what age we are, but the better life you want to live, the stronger you are, the more independence you'll continue to have, the more function you'll be able to have, and the more that you can own your own life. So strength is just so important. And I'm just happy to be able to help bring that to some seniors in the area.
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you for joining us today. I
Yeah,
appreciate all
thank
the
you.
information that we're giving to our seniors.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Yeah, so if you guys did like that and you're looking for more, we have more coming up on this channel. So definitely subscribe, and we'll have some more in the upcoming weeks. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you.